Disclose has knowledge about the North Sea, especially about methodologies how to study the benthic communities in the North Sea. Therefore, we joined the Oceana expedition. So we have the multi-beam, and then we combine it with video data, and then we take grab samples as well, all on the same location. And by combining these technologies, we can tell the detailed knowledge from the small scale, and we try to extrapolate that to a larger scale.
So during the Oceana cruises, we went to a number of different places in the North Sea. And one of the places we went to was the Brown Bank.
There's an area in which we have these underwater dunes. It's a dynamic sandy area.
While we were there, we first created a small map of a small area using acoustic methods. And after we had analyzed the acoustic results, while we were still on board, we saw some very interesting patterns. We went back to look at those later with a camera.
First, we only saw sand, and then the video moved a bit. We did see structures elevated from the seabed up to 30 centimeters of height. It really looks like a coral reef. We did see Sabellaria reefs. It's a tiny worm, but then it makes a tube, and all these tubes together, they form like a reef. I instantly apped Christian and my boss. It was that spectacular.
And that's really, really great news. It's very special news. They still occur in English waters, and now we found them back in the Dutch North Sea. In the past, 20% of the Dutch North Sea was covered by living oyster reefs and other organisms that provided reefs, but they disappeared due to overexploitation and probably diseases and changing environmental conditions. And now we found some of those Sabellaria reefs offshore, and it shows that under the right conditions, those reefs can still occur.
So looking at the reef, we observed starfish, a multitude of crab species, quite some fish species, under which the small spotted cat shark. Because we were wondering what would actually be living inside the seafloor, we went back to the same location and we took grab samples. The samples near the reefs contain much more animals than the samples taken on a sandy bottom. The Brown Bank is heavily fished by bottom trawlers, and therefore our observation of the reef was very remarkable. And it also immediately raised the question of how these reefs could persist under these high fishing pressures. So we think that these reefs can persist because fishermen try to avoid these reefs, or that the reefs only grow at locations where fishermen do not fish. We have seen that when there is higher fishing intensity, the reefs look more damaged. So we do think that the reefs are vulnerable to demersal fisheries.
In other countries, the reefs are protected. In the Netherlands, they are not protected because we thought living reefs did not occur offshore in the Dutch North Sea. And therefore, the policy is drafted to protect the stony reefs, but not the living reefs. But now, with the current knowledge, we know that living reefs can occur in the Dutch North Sea. We should definitely protect them like the other countries.